Welcome to the Veronica Edwards Show, where we have fun financial conversations that everyone listening can apply to their personal and professional life. I'm your host, Veronica Edwards, CPA, and today we are back season 6, completely independent and sponsored by my business, Balance Virtually LLC. So anybody that needs some accounting and consulting services, please reach out to me. Also, at the start of every show, we want to thank the V team. That's all of the great supporters. We just hit 1 year old on YouTube, and we only could do this with you guys. We are reaching over 100,000 views across all platforms. So definitely head over to veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com to listen to any of the prior shows when we were just audio only. And then also you can always head to balancevirtually.com to make sure that you can stay up to date on all things that are happening on the show. So today I am super excited as we have a family edition, specifically the Palmer Smith Family Reunion Edition, where we celebrate faith, legacy, and leadership. So the woman that I'm going to introduce today is truly beautiful inside and out. And I don't just mean that on the surface. I'm talking about her spirit, her presence, and the way she carries herself always with class and grace. She is known affectionately to her loved ones as Sister. And if you know, you know. That name comes with love, respect, and dedication for her family. This guest is more than a cousin to me. She's more like an aunt, and she's a true sister to my mother, Dorothy Vaughn. And I'm truly blessed to have her in my life. So it's an absolute honor today for me to have on Miss Cassandra Bowman Jamison. Welcome, sister. How are you?
I am well, and I am so excited to be joining you on today. I really
I'm
am.
excited. I told Cassandra I am putting on my royalty purple. Cassandra is a beautiful member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority
Yes.
Incorporated. I'm an
Woo.
honorary Delta. I tell all my friends, but I had to put my pearls on. Right. Don't beat me up, Cassandra. Shout out to
Alright.
our other AKAs in the family, Sharitha's cousin, Sharitha's sister, who
Right,
also
Anitra, Lindsay,
Lindsay.
Alexa, we have so many. Jasmine, and it is still growing. They
So
got another way.
yeah. So Cassandra, I gave a little preview, a little bit about you, but I would
Okay.
love if you can tell everybody before we get into this 50th Palmer Smith family reunion, tell us about you, who you are, where you're from, your career, and your family.
Awesome. So, Veronica, thank you again for having me on the show. I am so excited to be here today. And I am the fifth child of seven of Henry and Coralie Bowman. My mother is the legacy of the Palmer. So I was born in Utahville, South Carolina. I now reside in Goose Creek, South Carolina. I was married to the love of my life, Sergeant First Class Leroy Jamison, for 39 great years.
Shout out to
God blessed us
Leroy.
with two beautiful children, Shameka, who's now married to Byron, and Leroy Denard, who lives in Charlotte. And we are blessed with three blessed grandchildren, Marianne, Breland, and Bella. And our parents always kind of instilled education in us. So I went on to school after post-secondary. I earned my bachelor's degree in social work, a master's degree in education, because I had a love for both. So, and now throughout my career, I kind of used both together. And I actually continued towards my PhD and have all of my coursework except my dissertation. I pinned it for a moment, but I got to get back on it. So I am a retired educator, over
Are you
30.
really retired,
No, I
Cassandra?
won't go into that. I
But go ahead.
retired, but I am back working in the school system part-time. I just felt like God had more for me to do. So, I just wanted to get back in there and give what I can to the young people to try to encourage them, to always work towards their career goals. So a little bit about me.
Yes. So classy. You guys going to hear me say that the whole time. So I could just listen to Cassandra talk all day long. So let's go all the way back. We are celebrating the Palmer Smith family
Mhm.
reunion in July, 50 years. So I wanted to ask you, Cassandra, because we had our chairman of the
That's
family
right.
reunion. Uncle Mike, Michael Fuller. He kicked off the series that we're doing. You're the second person
Mhm.
representing the Palmer Smith family. But I want to know, how did you get involved and did you attend the first reunion back in 1976?
Yes, I did. 1976, I just graduated from high school. I was excited about college. When my uncle decided that he wanted to have the reunion. So, of course, like our chair Michael told you, it started at his mother's house, which is my auntie, my mother's sister, at their house. So I was right there because my mother and father, along with your grandmother and grandfather, they were so involved. It was like they were the core that kind of pulled everything together for that
Mhm.
first family reunion. So I was right there as a part of that, watching them cook. I wasn't the person that really liked to be in the kitchen. You give me
I'm the
something else
same.
to do, but
Right.
I did whatever it is that I need to do. But I was there from the beginning at that very first reunion because my parents was there. So because my parents was there, all of the children were there as well.
Yes, and we
Mhm,
want everybody listening to this interview to go back to the interview that we did with Uncle Mike back in December,
mhm.
and he explained our rich history and how it came about and the excitement around it
Right.
50 years ago. So that
Mhm.
leads us right into Cassandra, you hold a very unique position. You are the
Great.
first and only Madam Secretary in the
That's
history
right.
of the Palmer Smith family reunion. I made sure I did my research because I thought Uncle Mike was the second chairman and he was the third.
Zither, right.
But
Uh-huh.
mommy brought up to me, she says, "Well, Cassandra has been the only secretary." And I said, "I know that's right." So can you share with us, Cassandra, how did that come about? How did you become the secretary and what does your role look like today?
Wow, and it has changed so much. I became the secretary. Remember I told you in 1976, I just graduated from high school. I was so excited about going to college, but I was also excited because this was our very first family reunion. So we were just excited about all of our family, cousins, and everything like that coming together. So our Uncle Ely, the Reverend Dr. Ely Palmer, who really worked right along with our Uncle Sam, who was the
Mhm.
first chair, and then Uncle Ely came right after him. Uncle Sam, unfortunately, only got to witness, I think it was 3 reunions before he transitioned. But my Uncle Ely he was right with him, and I just always remember that at the reunion, he, like, called me, you know how they do that? I was like, "Okay,
Mhm.
what is going on?" And he was like, "Sit right here." And he gave me a pen because listen, I was, like, literally 17, not even quite 18 yet. So I didn't come
Wow.
to the reunion with a pad or a pencil because I wasn't expecting that. So, he called me, he said, "Sit right here." And then I kinda looked at him and he said, "I want you to jot these names down for me." So my role started off as recording people that were giving donations. Because remember, our reunion, as Michael spoke in the beginning, it started off with barbecue and pig in the backyard, family members doing dishes. So it's like potluck and coming together like that. But those family members that lived out of state, they would give, and they came to the reunion. So they would give donations to help support the reunion.
I love it.
So that's when my Uncle Ely started me off recording in the beginning, recording their names so he would have, because he was a detailed person as well. I
Yes.
always tell my cousin brother, like we are so close, your Uncle Mike,
Yes.
is that I was like, you guys are so much alike. Like he was so much like his Uncle Ely, but it was like detail and everything. So he wanted, make sure we get all of this down. So that's how I started off. So I did that like maybe for the first year. So the second year, he gave me a pad again. The third year, I was like, I'm coming ready for you. So I
Come
brought my
on.
own book. So I'm like, look like this is going to be a pattern. So then I brought my own book so I can start keeping up with it because, I would do it and give it back to him. So then I started recording and giving him copies because then, it's like now I'm dealing with my Uncle Ely, who I respect so much. And I know he respected
Absolutely.
me. So then that's how my recording start. But it has involved so much because eventually what happened is that as the reunion continued, we started having preparation meetings. So when we started having our plan preparation meeting, and then now I'm taking notes and minutes to be read at the next meeting. So that's what we ended up doing, and it has gone so much now until we have official minutes, official documents that I record. We read them. The family get official minutes from the reunion, and it is just a lot that goes into that. So if you're asking me about my role, I always tell them I wear hats of many different colors because I am responsible for. I'm a part of the executive board because we've grown to that point. I get out minutes, coordinate meetings, help with contracts, a negotiation. Usually the chair and I, Michael Fuller, we deal with all of the contract negotiation. The chairs from the other state would go and, make the arrangements with the hotel, but then they have to come to us that we are actually looking at all of those things. So managing Zoom calls, meetings, and a part of almost every committee. So it is a lot, but I enjoy it because you know what the purpose of it is all for the family. So I went from recording names to now we have official documents along with a lot of other things. Mhm.
Cassandra, you stay busy. And as your CPA cousin, I'm like, we need to give Cassandra a check. Like this is a full-time job. And we talked with our interview with Uncle Mike about how
Right.
we're branching into being a 501c3
That's
because we
right.
already have the structure. We have a
We do.
board, we have
Mhm.
committees. It's a whole enterprise. And it would
Right.
not be possible if we didn't have the record of it and how important it
Mhm.
is to have you as the secretary. I had no idea, Cassandra, that you've been doing this since 1976. I
I
thought
just
similar to Uncle
yes.
Mike, maybe in the 80s or the 90s.
Mhm.
So they pulled you in immediately.
Immediately. And then I was like, "You know what?" Because I kinda asked myself, like, "Why did he?" He said, "Because you can do it." And that was always my uncle. He was like, "You can do it, and I need you to do this." And of course, when they tell you to do something,
You
what are
don't
we
got no
gonna say? We're not gonna
choice.
say anything, but we're gonna
Yes,
sit
sir.
and we're gonna do it. Yes, that's exactly.
Yes.
It's like, you
Yes.
know what? So, like I said, initially, and I was like, "Okay, year 1, you're pulling me again, year 2." So then I was like, "Okay, I'm coming ready for you now." So
Yes.
I'm getting my books and I'm getting ready so I can be prepared because I like to be prepared to do things.
I
For
love that.
myself.
Well,
Yeah.
before we get into the
Uh-huh.
stats, I do want to ask you, Cassandra, what does the Palmer Smith family reunion mean to you personally? We know 50 years is a big deal. We know that you've attended every single reunion?
Except I always said 1.5. And both
I
of
know what you're
those
going
was
to
with
say.
my mother, right.
Yes.
My mother
Yes.
had surgery, one year we were in going to Miami, and the doctor advised her not to travel, and we decided and she was so upset
I
because
know Aunt Lily was devastated.
as she was, because you remember those 2 sisters was like, they didn't miss a reunion.
My
So my
grandma, Sister
mother
B, you're
and
mhm,
you're right.
mhm.
They did not miss a reunion. So because the doctor advised her not to travel, we did not travel that year to keep, to kind of console her. And the 1.5 the other half that I missed, we were actually at the reunion. And it was just before my mom transitioned and she was admitted
Mm,
into the hospital. And I couldn't stay. I wasn't comfortable. So my family and I came back to South Carolina.
wow.
We were actually in Maryland that year. So, and we came back, but those are it was like the one in Florida and that one. So honestly, I have attended 48.5 reunions.
Wow. Well, with that being said, what does it mean to you? Why has it been so important for you to continue to attend these reunions even after your parents have passed away, other elders have passed away? Why is it so rich and important in your life?
First of all, our parents gave us a charge. Well, I know I got a charge anyway from my mom, and she instilled just like how important it was. And I think because I knew it was so important to her, that was instilled in me to know that the family, it is just so important for us to try to keep this legacy to continue to grow. So it symbolizes so much. It is the reconnection, it is the unity, it is the love. all of this is what this family reunion is all about. So I always make the statement. I said, you know what? We work really hard in order to make this happen. But when the reunion come, it is you see the love and the family just getting together
Yes.
in order to be able to just show the commitment that we have to it. So it is. I mean, it's like there is nothing like family. I always say you cannot choose the family that you're born into. But every day I will say I am blessed to be a part of this Palmer Smith family. It really is.
Amen.
It is just so awesome. So, it's like we try so hard to make sure that it continues to grow and grow and grow. Mhm.
No, you guys have done a great job with
Yeah.
that, and I feel like mommy had that same charge from her
Yes.
parents, and
Mhm.
I don't know mommy's official title. Is she a financial secretary?
She's the financial secretary, that's exactly.
Yes. So
Mhm.
I know
She's like
you
my
2.
right-hand person when it comes down to keeping up with, the finance because we like you said, our this is a family reunion, but because it has grown so much with
Mhm.
what we deal with and, stuff that we have coming in that we have to take care of, we have to keep very good records for that.
Yes.
And one thing, my Uncle Illy was like that, and Michael, our chair now, is like that. Transparency. So we make sure that the family gets all of the information, like where we are, what we're doing, what we have, and stuff like that. So the family can never say that they don't know what's going on.
Yes,
Mhm.
and definitely wanna shout out Zadie because Zadie is the
That's
treasurer,
right.
correct?
She's a
So
treasurer. Zadie is the treasurer.
so
So we
between
work. Mm,
Zadie, mommy, you, Uncle Mike,
That's right.
that's the dream
Uh-huh.
team right there.
It is, and we are blessed because you talked about I was more than a cousin, almost like an aunt, because we call each other, sister cousins and brother cousins
Yes.
because we're just that close, all of us,
I love
we
that.
in that circle, and we're just that close. Mhm.
Yes. Well, Cassandra, before we go, I couldn't let you leave without giving us some stats. I'm a nerdy
Okay.
accountant, so I like to
Alright.
know all of this recording that you've been doing. So, listeners, I've asked Cassandra probably like a dozen questions, and I'll let you choose from that list that I
Okay.
gave you just some fun Palmer Smith family facts.
Okay, awesome. Well, she did, and I thought they were all great. I know we probably don't have time to share them all, but you asked about like maybe about how many family members are there now coming to the reunion. We have a large reunion. We probably have about 140 to 150 households. Now, not just family members, we're talking about households that are actively coming. I can tell you that over the years that have progressed because I remember we always try to keep a count. Remember at one point it was 50 and then we went to 75 and now like 100. And now we are over 100 households that come.
Wow.
So you're thinking about sometimes 2, 3 people in a household that actually comes to the reunion. So, that's very, very important. I think another important thing is our age. That was one of the stats that you asked about. Our youngest that I can think of right now is probably about 4 months old. Is one of our cousin that's in the mid-Atlantic state, and we have an auntie that's 97 years old, Aunt Ruth Palmer. That's right. She's
Wow.
97 years old. So if you can see that our family continues to grow with the young people that's coming and are so active, which I think is so very important. So I will say a shout out to all of our young people that are actively involved with the reunion, all the
Yes.
way up to our older family members that God has blessed us with so many that's over the age of 80. I think that is awesome. And we've had as many as probably over 300 people at a reunion at one time. That's exactly. So
Wow.
it can get large. And I think you kind of asked about what are some of our family traditions? We used to have a picnic or cookout. That's one of the things that we do every year. Our family members from the young to the old love bingo. So that's one of the things that we do all the time. My Uncle Ely had a saying that he would say, remember who you are and whose you are. During the
Oh.
family reunion, he would use that several times, and we still hear it now with our chair, Michael. At some point during the reunion, you're going to hear, remember who you are We don't want you to ever forget about your values, your family, no matter where you go. And
Mhm.
remember whose you are. You are a part of this Palmer Smith family reunion legacy, as well as we are children of God. So
Period.
those things are so very important. And then another one of our tradition that our late Reverend Samuel Palmer started at the end of our reunion on the Sunday that we're getting ready to leave. We all join hands and we do a closing song that God has smiled on you. So those are
Oh, that's
things that we
beautiful.
do all the time at each and every one of the reunions. So those are some of the things that, that we see all the time. And then one other thing that you asked, and I know it's probably time to go because I'm long-winded.
No, we have time, Cassandra. Take
Okay.
your
All
time.
right. Families across, we started when we started the reunion, we probably had people basically coming from South Carolina and maybe the Northeast and New York area. But God has blessed us where we have family that are all across the United States. I
Wow.
think we have family from every state on the East Coast, from Miami all the way up to Connecticut, the Boston area. And then it spreads across that you have Texas, you have Arizona, you have Michigan, you have California, you have Washington State. So we have
Yes.
families that are coming from all over now that are coming to be a part of this reunion. And I'm not just talking about these family members that comes occasionally, like once every 5, 6 years or something like that. These are people that are like regular attendees with the family, are actively involved with our committees and all of those things that we do like that. So we are blessed. We are blessed and highly favored as Palmer Smith family.
Yes, we are, and I like that
Mm,
people plan their whole family trip around it.
they
When we
do.
had reunions in
Uh-huh.
Florida, I
That's
think the
right.
last one that we had in Tampa, a lot of people wanted to go to different amusement parks, so if the
Mhm.
reunion
Mhm.
sometimes starts, like, on a Thursday for some activities, but
Right.
most people come in on Friday, you have family members coming in on Tuesday or
Yeah.
Wednesday, and
Mhm.
like you said, Cassandra, we have a lot of family members that are over 80 years old. And then they've been attending for some time now. So definitely, I'm very impressed with just the dedication and how the
Mhm.
family consistently shows up. It's like you
Uh,
said, it's not just one or two. Even
no.
with me not attending many, I know I've
Mhm.
still gone to at least
That's
10,
right. Uh-huh.
15, that I can
That's
even just
right.
remember as an adult,
Right.
and it is
Mhm.
very, very important. So, Cassandra, before we head out, is there anything that you want to just end the show with that you want people to know? You are our communicator, so we get emails
That's
from
right.
you. If the family, we're going to post this on the Facebook page. This is going to be available for everybody. Anyone, maybe they've never been or they haven't been in a while. Um, how can they find out more information about the family reunion?
Okay, definitely. I send out email blasts all the time, but we also there's a Palmer Smith Facebook page that you can definitely join, and I could get you that information because it is private. But family, you go in and Lavelle will actually accept you into it. She just created an Instagram page as well for the family. So
Shout
we're
out
doing
to
a lot.
Lavelle. Shout out to
That's
Lavelle.
right.
That's our
To
historian of
LaBelle.
the family.
Right, so we're doing a lot in order to get you involved, and we do encourage you, if you have not attended, like Veronica said, or have not attended in a while, we encourage you. We want this 50th reunion because, 50 is a milestone. It's like you're talking about for the past 50 years, we've had a reunion, have not missed during COVID. And I think Michael talked about that we did virtual for 2 years, but after that, 2022, we came back to meeting face to face. So we've been doing this for 50 years. So we want you to join us. Our family motto is a family that prays together, stays together. And that's has kept us together for a very long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra. So well said. And thank you so much for
Mhm.
sharing the history, for your dedication for the last 50 years to family, legacy, love, and consistency. So thank you so much. And I just want to also leave with family's not just where you're from. It's what you build, what you maintain, and what you pass on. That legacy is key. So again, I just want to thank the V team for taking time out of their busy day, and please continue to tune in to The Veronica Edwards Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. And you can also head over to veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com. So until next time, stay balanced and financially savvy.